for those of you who are running your own business, you are the forefront of your business. I think business succession planning is something that business owners don't usually talk about. If you're like me, you're talking about not just surviving but also sustaining. This conversation has to start now, because to sustain a business, to build that legacy plan, the succession planning takes time. You got to rule out so many factors. So what you can do is to work with us so that we can then tell you what kind of direction can you look into based on the existing resources that you have.
You know, I think I want to be my own boss lah. I'm so tired every day meeting until 6 o'clock only I reply my email, you know. And then if I be my own boss, I can cuti anytime. I don't need to apply annual leave.
To those of you aspiring to be your own boss, there are two types of employment when you want to be your own boss. Self-employed, you don't have any team members, or an employer where you have team members. Well, becoming your own boss memang best, but then there are things that you need to consider. Number one, the consistency of income. It's easier said than done. If you want to be takaful agent, unit trust agent, you still gotta hustle and do your sales. If you want to be MLM agent, you still have to hustle. There's no such thing as becoming your own boss and achieving financial freedom without doing anything. Now, if you're an employer like me, you got to think about having team members, paying rental for your premise, having sufficient cash flow. We're already talking about recession next year, guys. In fact, recession is already here. How prepared are you? Is this the right time to be your own boss? Or can you pursue both at the same time, employment and becoming self-employed, so that eventually, when the time strikes, then you can be your own boss? Do you think it's really easy to be your own boss? I can assure you it is not. There are days that I wake up and I question my decisions. Why did I, venture from becoming self-employed as a financial planner to now running my own setup? But it's the faces of my people that inspire me to get up every day, to fight every day, and to explore different things every day. It's a journey. Do not be fooled by the things that you read on social media that becoming your own boss could be the best decisions ever made. I know of people who are employed, they are CEOs, senior management, managers, and they love what they do. So there is really nothing wrong with being employed. In fact, if you're really good at your craft, be the best damn version that you can be in your employment so that you are not replaceable.
Hello, Papa's business is for you. Anna, Papa's properties are for you. Achi, Papa's cars are for you.
How is your business succession planning? Is it just verbal? Because as you know, SSM and the law do not recognize verbal. How are you ensuring that your company, your hard work can be transferred to your children, that they have the capacity and literacy to fill in your role? Some of the solutions out there in the market says just hibah, correct. But if you hibah to a child that doesn't know how to run a business, what will happen to your business is it would shut down. So how are you looking at all of your business risk so that should anything want to happen to you, your business can still run? When it comes to businesses, my conversation and advisory is different than how I would advise an individual, because an individual is very straightforward. But when it comes to businesses, we got to involve the company secretary side. We got to involve your business. We got to involve your taxes and whatnot. So come and work with me to talk about your business succession planning. And in this discussion, what you could expect is options for you to ensure what is the exit strategy if your loved one cannot run your business, or how can you ensure that your business can thrive up to 3 generations.
Do you have a full-time job and a side business at the same time? Do you find it hard to cope, especially when you're a mother, not just professionally, but personally you're so occupied with the development of your children? Have you ever wished that you want to make your side business your main income, but you just never have the courage to tell yourself, how do I get from here, employment, to self-employment? Fret no more. That's why we're here. We empower startups and founders to make that first decision of hopping from full-time employment to self-employment. Especially now that recession is here, you can't simply quit your job and be your own boss, although it's possible when you have done the necessary planning. In In our advisory, we realize it's beyond than just numbers. It's also about habits, dreams, addressing fear, the unspoken things that people don't usually speak about. If you want to be self-employed, if you want to be your own boss, and you already have some plans in place, just that you need to further strengthen it, come and book for a discovery call and we'll go through your step-by-step so that eventually you can be your own boss despite recession. Enterprise, Senyap Berhad, partnership, file for tax, get grant, apply for financing, sales and marketing, cash flow, which one? You pursue side income, you shouldn't only stop there, you should scale. If that's your desire to scale, then what you should do is you should learn and understand how a business operates. Then you must learn the big picture of setting up a business. The first 3 years of business is the most crucial one. You either make it or you die. Is that what you want? What do? Do you go back to employment? Do people even want to hire you? Or do you find it more empowering that you hire people? The choice is yours. Everything requires literacy and it starts with you.
Last time when I was starting on my own, banks don't layan me. They say I self-employed, no EPF so they tak layan. You know, a lot of grants out there, they require you to have your own office. I self-employed, I work from home. I can wake up anytime, no need office for what? Membazir rental. Tak payah bayar tax. Kita simpan, kita pegang cash, beli emas. Senang nak pajak nanti. No. Business shouldn't apply financing and loan. We should use cash only. Cash only, very rich. For what all this financing?
Does that sound like you? Are you aware that even a cash-rich company still apply for loan and financing when they want to expand their business? Do you know the difference between using your own cash and applying for financing?
Dia tu cakap jangan pakai loan, pakai cash sebab dia tak bayar tax.
You want to be a lady boss? You want to know the tips and tricks, shortcuts? Come and work with us in advisory.